Hi, Becky Wells here. Right now I'm going to talk to you about our family's favorites. I had each member of our family pick two of their favorite books. Now for my 5-year-old son, this was a very difficult task for him, but we have some great books here that I'm going to share with you. My daughter is 2.5, and Annalise picked Big Book of Little Stories. We read from this regularly. Give you a hint of what some of the things in here: Little Red Riding Hood, Rabbit's Tail, Wind in the Willows, Little Miss Muffet, Goldilocks. So some great classic stories. But what's wonderful is they're very, very short and sweet, so they're great for short attention spans or for parents when you need a really quick read before bed. And the illustrations are, as usual, quite wonderful in here. And it's really thick with a ribbon bookmark to keep your place. Her second choice was Noisy Orchestra, and this is one of my ultimate favorite books. It's a noisy book that is not annoying. Crazy, right? So it has it's a board book with these tabs that are really fun to turn. Kids will learn the musical instruments, woodwinds, and the animal names as well, but also then they'll hear what they're kind of like, and Badger joins in on the oboe, Rabbit plays gentle notes on the clarinet, so you kind of get hearing what the noises these instruments make. And hear that? It is not annoying at all. Now my son, who's 5, picked 2 nonfiction because he loves nonfiction. Children's Encyclopedia. He loves this book. This is quite a thick book. So many different things, so much knowledge to learn in here. And this is an example of our internet linked books. If you see anything that says IR or IL on the website, it's either internet referenced or internet linked. Linking means every 2-page spread has a specific link, usborne.com/quicklinks, or in this case, we have a QR code that you just put in to get safe websites to learn more about each of these topics. His second choice was Big Book of Big Dinosaurs. He loves this big book series. He actually calls them his little TVs, and he's going to have some TV time because they have fold-out flaps that are huge, and so the illustrations can be big and go across the page. I mean, look at that. And the text is chunked, so for young kids, they can really grasp on to what they're learning from the chunked text. Now for me, my first book is something that I love for my kids. It's the Illustrated Alphabet. It's a new book. That was the case. It's actually a cloth book with a ribbon bookmark to keep your place. Though it's a fun story, I don't know why you would need the bookmark. But what I love so much about it is it gives you everything you want an illustrated alphabet to do, any alphabet book. It has both upper and lowercase letters. It has some items to spot that start with the same letter. So here we have an apple, an airplane, an ant, and an acorn. Then down here we have the traditional A is for whatever, in this case, alpaca. Then we have a gorgeous illustration with more things you can spot in here, so many things you can spot. And then a silly little story that is alliterative. So we have, it was a bad day for the animals at Alphabet Zoo, and it began when the alpacas ate all the apples. And it goes through all the way through the alphabet, that same silly story about all of the animals at the zoo. My second book is actually for our older readers. I say this because it's my favorite. I got addicted to the Phoenix Files this summer, this past summer on my cruise. This is a thrilling conspiracy YA fiction novel, suggested 14 and up for content. But it's all about this boy Luke and his 2 friends, and they're fighting the end of the world. My husband's favorite book, by far, is Dan the Taxi Man. It is a wonderful storybook, and you can actually, Eric Odie is the author, and you can actually YouTube a video of him reading it and kind of get a sense of the rhythm in the book. But it's, here's Dan, beep beep, the taxi man, going to the show and picking up the band, Climb inside while you still can with Dan Beep Beep, the taxi man. And then it goes through and we have Maureen with her tambourine. So you do Shake a Shake Crash, and kids love, my son's preschool friends, my son, they love getting into the rhythm and making the sounds of the story. So it's a wonderful addition for your home. Now, my husband's other option, other favorite, I should say, is the Usborne Illustrated Adventure Stories. This is, very thick book, ribbon bookmark, of course, and I'm going to say the same, gorgeous illustrations. But in this book, we have abridged versions of The Count of Monte Cristo, Don Quixote, The Three Musketeers, and a few others. But my son loves this series. We have so many in the illustrated book series, and I highly recommend them for story time, bedtime stories. They're wonderful with some chapters in each of the books in them. But check them out. We also have illustrated Shakespeare, illustrated Norse myths, illustrated Greek myths, princess and prince stories, all of the like. So those are great for bedtime reading. So that's our family's top 8 favorites. I hope you enjoyed.